All right, we need to talk about what might be the single biggest threat facing the 2026 midterm elections. We're talking about a moment where powerful AI could literally make reality optional. The implications here are, well, they're staggering. So let's break down exactly what's happening. 5 seconds. Just burn that number into your brain. 5 seconds. That's all it takes now to create a totally convincing, photorealistic political deepfake, the kind of thing that can go viral in the blink of an eye. Now hold that first number in your head and compare it to this one, 48 hours. That's the window social media platforms generally have to take that same deepfake down after it's been reported. So 5 seconds to create a fire and 2 full days to find a fire extinguisher. You can see the problem, right? And that incredible imbalance, that's why the 2026 midterms are shaping up to be this historic tipping point. It's really the first major U.S. election where our shared sense of what's real and what isn't is just fundamentally up for grabs. So, what makes 2026 so different? Why is this all happening right now? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm, a collision of technology, politics, and law that is making this election uniquely vulnerable. There are really 3 big forces crashing into each other all at once. First, the AI tech needed to make these fakes. It's not some lab experiment anymore. It's mature, and it's in the hands of the public. Second, the 2026 midterms are, of course, a super high-stakes election in an already divided country. And third, the laws we have to fight this stuff, they're brand new and completely untested in the real world. Okay, let's start with the tech itself, because this is wild. The power to create these photorealistic fakes used to be the exclusive domain of, Hollywood special effects studios. Not anymore. It's been totally democratized, thanks to tools that are so simple and so powerful, anyone can use them. And if you want to get a sense of the scale we're talking about, look at this. Over 500 million, that's the number of image edits that were processed by just one of these hypothetical new tools, let's call it Nano Banana, since it launched in February 2026. This isn't just theory, it's being used on a massive, massive scale. I mean, this is a genuine revolution in how we create media. These new tools, which often need nothing more than a simple text prompt, have completely vaporized the old barriers. What used to take hours of work, a ton of money, and an expert skill set, you can now do for free in seconds with a smartphone. Anyone can do it. So, okay, we've established these tools are powerful and they're everywhere. The next logical question is, how are they going to be weaponized? Well, our sources are pointing to 4 main types of deepfake attacks we should all be expecting to see during the election cycle. The first one is the most obvious and direct: candidate impersonation. Just imagine a fake video or even just an audio clip of a candidate saying something absolutely horrible, and it gets released just hours before the polls open. It's designed to hit you in the gut, to spread like wildfire, and do all of its damage long before any fact check or correction can ever hope to catch up. The second attack is a little more subtle, but honestly, just as dangerous. It's all about voter suppression. This means using deepfakes to just sow chaos and confusion. Think fake announcements that your polling place has moved, or false info about what kind of ID you need, or even darker, fabricated threats designed to intimidate people so they just stay home. And this really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? The goal here actually shifts. It's not just about influencing one election anymore. It's about attacking the very foundation of the whole system. I mean, if you can't trust basic information, how can you possibly have a functioning democracy? Which leads right into the third attack, just pouring gasoline on social divisions. The goal here isn't to convince you of a specific thing, it's just to create total chaos. It's about generating fake evidence of wrongdoing that preys on existing tensions in society, eroding trust in all media, all institutions, until nobody has any clue what to believe anymore. And finally, we have what might be the most dangerous attack of all: post-election chaos. This is where you use fabricated video evidence of, say, ballot stuffing, or you create a fake whistleblower testimony to completely undermine the legitimacy of the results. This doesn't just try to influence an election, it tries to invalidate it entirely. Now, hearing all these threats, you think, okay, our defenses must be racing to keep up, right? But the hard truth is, this is a race we are fundamentally losing. Our ability to detect this stuff and stop it, it's breaking down. And here's why it's failing on so many levels. First, we humans are just easily fooled, especially by fakes that are made to look like grainy, shaky cell phone video. Second, the AI detectors are just not reliable. It's a constant arms race, and the creation side is winning. Third, the sheer volume of this stuff being created is just impossible for human fact-checkers to keep up with. And finally, there's our own psychology. Our confirmation bias makes us want to believe the fakes that confirm what we already think. This just sums up the impossible math perfectly. It's an asymmetrical battle. The speed and scale of creation are just fundamentally overwhelming our ability to defend against it. It's not a fair fight.
But there's a deeper, even more sinister consequence to a world that's just flooded with fakes. It's a concept known as the liar's dividend, and it might be the most profound danger of all.
So what does this liar's dividend actually mean? Well, it's what happens when the public just starts to assume that anything could be fake. It gives dishonest people a brand new, incredibly powerful tool: plausible deniability. Any real, genuinely incriminating piece of evidence, a video, an audio recording, can now just be waved away as, oh, that's just another deepfake. And the result is absolutely chilling. Accountability just dissolves. If a real video comes out showing a politician caught red-handed in a scandal, they can just look into the camera and say, it's a fake. And in this new world we're living in, a huge chunk of the public is going to believe them. Truth just becomes a matter of opinion. So what about our legal defenses? Are the laws going to save us? Well, right now, they're dangerously fractured. We have this messy patchwork of 47 different state laws because a big bipartisan federal bill just failed to pass. And this creates huge gaps in enforcement, a system that our sources are basically calling a recipe for chaos. So, as we wrap this up, let's just go back to where we started. 5 seconds. That's the time it takes to create a weapon of mass confusion. 48 hours. That's the time we have to try and clean up the mess, long after it's already spread to every corner of the internet. And one election. A single, high-stakes, democratic moment where these two forces are set to collide with absolutely unprecedented power. All of this really brings us to one fundamental and, frankly, frightening question. It's not if deepfakes will impact the 2026 election anymore. It's really a question of how much. When reality becomes optional and you can't even trust your own eyes, how does democracy itself survive?